I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We're about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man. I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it.
All right. Tell you what. I'm gonna get you one drink. Does it look like you need
one drink? I can do one drink. I can do one drink because I really yeah.
Hey man, anything man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
All right, welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to sponsor tonight's show with Minecraft. I bet y'all wondering what is Minecraft. Well, if you've been listening to the shows, you would know.
Right.
It's craft. Craft has its own thing, and I'm going to tell you it's necessary for us to get our minds right.
Yes.
But before I tell you about it, why not have the creator, Craft, tell them about it.
Well, let me ask you this question. Have you ever had a course in life where they teach you how to think?
Yeah, they call that school, but it didn't do me good.
Right. And that's the issue, is that we go through life, we learn a lot of things and stuff, but we don't learn how to manage our own thinking.
Not even in school.
And even more than that, we don't never seem to have a place where we learn how to manage our own emotions. There should be courses in youthful America in, somewhere before age 15, where you talk about how to deal with despair, where you talk about how to deal with troubled mindsets, where you talk about how to deal with fear, where we talk about how you can strategically deal with problems in life. And we never seem to have those courses. So Minecraft has created a course. I have created this teaching that helps lift people's thinking, that help lift you out of despair into hope and into great faith. And it's really designed to help you understand that ultimately that our thoughts are creating our reality. That's the nature of how the universe works. Our thoughts create our reality.
Right.
And if you think worrisome and doubtful and fearful thoughts, then you're going to manifest situations and circumstances that keep you fearful and doubtful.
That makes sense.
Right. It's kind of difficult, Jay, to teach people that changing your mind will actually change your reality.
Well, to one that might be more closed-minded because of the fact it wasn't taught to us early on.
Right.
And we believed everything, going to school, get a house, picket fence, wife, and all the rest of this, that dream. Once you fall into that rat race and you stuck in the matrix and you start realizing that, this is not getting me where I want to be and none of this is fulfilling me. That's when you start opening up to realize different things. And that's what we try to do here with this show, is to talk about common things, but to understand the mental is where we're not growing.
The mindset is where we're not growing. And the mindset has the greatest potential for growth in your life. And so I'm teaching consciousness. I'm teaching our thoughts create reality. I'm teaching the law of attraction. I'm teaching how to manage your emotions. I'm giving you a systematic approach as to how you manage your mind and overcome life's common everyday hurdles. Not only the small ones, but even the big ones. We got to find a way to strengthen ourselves on the inside. For those of you who, practice a faith or religion, you found a way to strengthen yourself. That is one of the ways to strengthen yourself. But those of you who haven't quite gotten closer to God and strengthen your relationship in one of these areas, here's now a scientific way to deal with life and to manage your thinking. So I'm excited about the program. We've got to find a way to get ourselves focused, keep ourselves positive, keep ourselves on the right track, overcome hurdles and setbacks without being damaged by them.
Yes.
Let's not become the problem that was created in our life. Let's kind of stand on the sideline and fix the problem as it passes by.
Say it.
Right. I'm just so passionate about it. I just think that many people are wallowing themselves in negativity in their minds.
They do.
And they're disrupting their own lives and just can't see it. They need a better way. And I think consciousness is the way.
I agree.
And I appreciate you letting me share that,
Oh,
Jay.
man, all day long.
Yeah, this is something that I think can really transform mankind. We're dealing with the battle against AI.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we overcome that? Well, we have to know that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, given the infinite potential to create our lives through our spoken word. And we speak our word, and our word becomes flesh, and our word becomes life. And we have to learn how to speak that word. And speaking that word is your life. If you never learn how to speak over your life, Minecraft is definitely the place that you want to be looking into, because we have tools to help you speak over life, and that's all you ever really need.
Yes.
Because when you speak a word of great faith, the Lord hears it and He responds to it with great action. Right? Power begets power.
Come on now.
Right? That's the way the universe works.
Iron sharpen iron.
Iron sharpen iron, right?
Come on now.
So thank you again for that, Jay. Why don't we go ahead and introduce ourselves?
Let's do that.
This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a great dialogue. We're just going to chop it up on the subject tonight. And of course, as we do, we hope that you can grow, that you can learn from your own seat right where you are. We hope that you can find some inspiration to move on in your life in this area that we're talking about. We like to call this show somewhat therapeutic because this is not just a fun podcast. We want you to get something out of this. We want you to make some clean, clear, powerful decisions about yourself or your circumstance or the person who you're around. We want you to find some gravy in this. And so we hope that you do. We thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And of course, we always start the show off with a prayer.
Yes.
And so let's just hand this show off to the Lord. By the way, tonight's topic is
what we got.
Why are you grieving over other people's stuff?
Wow. Okay. I don't know where that one came from, but I roll with it.
Why are you grieving over other people's stuff and nonsense?
Okay, it might get a little messy, but we don't need the Lord.
It just
Give
might.
me that prayer. I need the prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come into your presence right now just to thank you for your almighty power and love and goodness and richness and peace of mind in our lives. We thank you for all that you are in our life. And we ask, Heavenly Father, that you would inspire us in this show, Father, with dealing with grief over other people's stuff. How much should we care, Lord? How much should we participate in their grief, Lord? How much should we participate in their solutions, Lord? How should we feel about the people around us? Perhaps those who are doing very well and even those who are not doing so very well. How should we speak over them? How should we receive them? How should we help them? Should we help them? Where should our mindset be, Lord, in relations to other people's stuff? Sometimes we know, Lord, it's good stuff and it's bad stuff, but we're just wondering if you would just give us a divine, wise, intelligent understanding of it tonight so that we can better operate amongst the people and amongst the world. We know that your spirit is made whole and complete through us in this world, and we just want to do good and we want to be whole and complete. And we want you to say, job well done by the end of our life. And so we ask that you would be on this show, speak through us your good and intelligent works. Allow your way to be done here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. What do we do about other people's stuff? Why do you grieve over other people's stuff? Now, let me just set it up for a minute, Jay.
Give me some boundaries. You know I'm gonna run wild with this one.
We are supposed to care about other people.
Yes.
And we are supposed to care about other people's stuff. We're supposed to care about their health. We're supposed to care about their finances.
Right.
We're supposed to care about them progressing in life. We're supposed to care about their relationship. We're supposed to care if they fall, if they're wounded, if they're stuck, if they're set back. We're supposed to care about those things.
Right.
In fact, it is each of our job to oversee each other.
Okay.
And so, am I my brother's keeper?
Yes.
Absolutely. I am my brother's keeper, and I should be watching out for my brother all the time.
Right.
And when my brother gets in trouble, when my sister gets in trouble, when they perhaps get in trouble because they're doing nonsensical things, when they're doing foolish things, when they're doing things that don't make sense, when they're chasing clouds and dreams that have no real meat to them, no real meat on that bone, and they wind up in muck. They wind up in the mud, when they wind up tangled up in something,
quicksand.
We should care, but should we grieve?
Well,
should we grieve? Should our hearts, and how much should our hearts be hurting for other people? And how long should that take place?
Okay.
Should they set back every year for 10 years? Do we feel about it in the 6th and 7th year like we felt about it in years 1 and 2?
Can I go?
Please go ahead, Jay. Please, because
I'm gonna go biblical.
I need somebody to stop me.
I'm gonna go biblical.
Go ahead.
God hardened Pharaoh's heart.
God hardened Pharaoh's heart. Yes, he did.
And there's gonna be circumstances that ours is hardened too. So it's going back to realizing that why Pharaoh didn't do this, why didn't he just do that? It took a chain of events to get him to make a decision of a change.
That's good.
And that's going to be you when it comes to taking on other people's burdens. God gives you the heart that sometimes you have to realize is so powerful that you have to somewhat shield it from all that you want to do. Because some people does not deserve all of what you want to do.
Some people don't deserve it. You better preach, Jay. Some people don't deserve.
It's hard to tell you. You can't do this because see, I had so much done to me that my heart is hardened to a point where I'm not quick to, but God made it where I can still get past.
Right.
But I had to be delivered from my pains of doing things my way.
Yes.
So he let me be that run of a buck. He let me be that person. And then later on, he had that conversation with me.
Yes.
When I'm sitting alone hurting. And he was like, well, you chose to do some of this. So now when I watch somebody else run amok and do some things, I want to push some wisdom to them with the hopes of them just listening because they're going to find out.
Right.
But now I'm not going to carry their burdens. And that's where we fail at.
That's where we fail.
Now we go back and we tell other people that person's problems. That person need to do this. You're being judgmental when 9 times out of 10, you're supposed to be that person to give positive construction at that time. You stay on the high, quit going to a low. Telling somebody else about somebody else's damn problems. You're going on a low than a high. Now, if you're asking somebody for better ideas that I might be able to help them with, that's a little tad bit different. But messy people brings other people negatives to another person. And that's why you got haters and you got gossip. People give information knowing it's messy.
Right.
It's not for better or anything, but to pass it. If you don't know all the facts, why are you even saying it? It's not necessary. But you don't want nobody to know about your ass. See, that's why most people do it, because I'm gonna call you out. You and somebody else's, because your stuff is ran amok. You don't want to talk about you because you know it's embarrassing to talk about all the mistakes your ass is making. But it's so quick to talk about your girlfriend or your boyfriend and go out to social media and ask for the victim role, to play the victim. I'm so sick and tired of you playing the victim, and you had a willing part in half the shit that went on. But then you want us to all side with you. There's no siding. You made your damn decision. Lay in that bed.
Yeah. Because
I have to lay in mine when I make decisions. So don't act like you don't have to fall victim or fall underneath God, because that's you going to have to fall underneath somebody. And all this talking because you don't want nobody to see you. I promise you, I see you more clearly through the things you're talking compared to the things that you're doing.
Yeah. You know, Jay, here's what comes to my mind.
What's on your mind?
That there are many people who won't play by the real rules. And because they try to sideswipe the real rules, they end up in trouble. They end up broke. They end up, they're not operating in the middle path. And sometimes we want to carry those burdens. sometimes we're so saddened, you know, and I know, you know, our caring heart can sometimes get us in trouble. You kind of mentioned that, right?
Yes.
But somebody who's been complaining about their weight for 10 years, you just don't have as much attachment to the problem that they're facing, because they won't stop eating the fatty stuff. They won't stop the sugar. They won't stop drinking. They won't stop whatever that is. They won't stop doing it. So in other words, they're breaking the rules. They will not follow the rules. The rules are, if you want to be healthy, you got to stop doing that stuff.
Right.
And so now I can't feel bad for you. I hate that my brother is hurting.
Yes, definitely.
But I can't carry that burden.
No.
In fact, the only thing I can do is offer wise counsel and pray.
All day long.
Right? I can offer wise counsel and I can pray. But when I walk away from that situation, I'm not going to be crying and in pain.
No.
Because it seems like, just like Jay said, it seems like, and in fact, this may just be the case, that the Lord has hardened their heart. And they're not ready to see what you are trying to tell them. They can't see what you're trying to tell them. You're trying to tell them that, hey, just tighten up a little bit on this, relax on that, move in this direction, move in that direction, go ask for some help here. Go, you know, you got to work a little bit harder. You're trying to coach them and direct them, but yet somehow or another, they're just not hearing you. They can hear you here, but they can't hear you here. Right.
I had a situation, not to cut you off.
Go ahead. You good.
And it was brought to me that one of my brothers holds grudges. And I said, well, you know, I know the certain things.
Holds grudges?
Yeah, hold grudges.
Yeah.
He like to hold things. And my whole thing is, well, that's him. Yeah, that's your brother. I'd be like, hey, my brother. And it's a brother that I love. But again, if that's what a person chooses to do, that's him. And it was like, yeah, but you ain't nothing like that. It's nothing to me and him but brothers. I mean, again, I'm that person is that when I bring you like you are my brother, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to have the same mother and father. You are a person that I cherish enough to say that you my brother, right? Now, our blood might be different, but I choose family.
Right.
And this is how we're going to go through life. Now, as I choose my brothers and we going to be brothers and it's not about mothers, we also going to respect each other. And that's our decision making. If that's how you want to be.
Right.
If he wants to hold something, that has nothing to do with me. Because I'm not going to hold grudges. I don't have time.
Right.
I'm that person I'm going to release. Because again, I'm going to say what I got to say at that time. And it's not about what some people say. Speak your mind. No. I'm going to talk it out right then and there. And hopefully we're working out. We can agree to disagree. But I don't feel like I'm going to carry this to the next time I see you, to the next time. Some people want to carry it until they get a result.
Yes.
My whole thing is I'm going to talk about it then. And then I'm good with leaving it alone. You know why?
Listen.
I have to grow to understand agreements or disagreements. And again, it happens. But
Yes.
when somebody, and they brought it to my attention, he never got past. We had a little Joan Fest. We was having fun. And he held it. Okay.
He held it.
And he brought it back up to another one.
You can't hold nothing from the dozens, man.
And he's like, bro, he held that. And he brought it to my attention.
Because you hurt his feelings.
Well, luckily it wasn't me this time. Because
Right.
I did that and I did
Right.
apologize. But again, when we get past that one, I'm gonna go to this one. And I'm like, bro, why? He's like, man, he never got past it. It was none of us. It was just another friend. And I was like, but he ain't even tight with us. Like, if we know each other like we do, I don't like it when we go low on each other. If I know some dirt on you and you join me so hard, I gotta go low on you. That's bad character of me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got because you got in your feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna join off of whatever we join off of. We're gonna have fun because that's the nature of us being brothers.
And see, listen, part of my problem with joning is that I don't join on people, right?
Right. So
I
it
don't
can be
even
hard.
look at you like that unless you own me. Now I got to start looking at,
You a little different.
yeah, I got to start looking at what you did
How you
and
say
how you did it.
How you rolling.
And see, when I start touching on that, you going to get soft. You going to get soft. But I wasn't saying none of that. Now I'm just defending myself, but it looked like I'm attacking you. I'm not.
But you attacked me.
I'm getting you off of me.
Right.
Right. And a lot of people
And
don't
believe
get
me,
that.
The
lot of
people
people
don't
don't
get
get
it
that.
because when I was younger, I was skinny.
Yeah.
And I had people on me. Now, again, I learned how to fight, but it was never learned to do it in a way that you stay in fights.
Right.
You know, I back in the day, I had to learn some different things. Now, in that, they always taught me it's for defense purpose only. Man, my teacher found out I got in the fight, and it wasn't because I had to. Because I was one of them slick ones. I talk about you so bad that you wanted to fight.
You wanted to fight, right,
yeah,
right.
And then I get you. Okay,
right.
Well,
You've been good at that for a long time,
Let me tell you something. He told me up in class, though. He put me in front of everybody, and I had to go up and spar against everybody.
Right.
Because you want to be a little smart behind. Because
right.
it's one of them things he got to teach you.
Right.
So then I learned, even though you know how to fight, you don't supposed to go out there and just fight.
Right.
Now, knowing is just half the battle, because now, even though I can talk you into fighting, now I have to learn how to talk out of. And that's why I said the art of talking mess can lead you on the low or high. I started on the low. Now I can do it on the high. I don't have to. You can come at me almost with some disrespect and I can walk away. Just because I know how to fight. Also, I know better. And you're not going to bring me out my space.
Yeah.
And that's where people got to learn. And that's why I said you got to harden. Because then before, it was like, I got to fight everybody.
And you don't.
To prove something that I didn't understand what I was proving.
Yeah.
And now I don't do that.
And listen, here's another thing. When you're around people who got nonsense going on, you don't have to say nothing about it.
No.
You don't have to get in their business. You don't have to understand their story. You don't have to. All you can do is just say, well, it's going to be all right. You know, well, you know what?
It's all right. I'll just keep quiet.
This too soon shall pass.
In distance.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Because here's what's happening. A lot of times that people they're in these situations, they want your help.
Sometimes.
They want it, whether they go ask for it or whether they know they should be. They really want it. You know, if they're in the mud and you ain't in the mud, they need you to help them get out of the mud. But you ever notice somebody who they tell you all the details because they want you to try to fix it?
Yes.
Especially with money issues.
Yes. With my money.
Yeah.
They ain't putting their money up.
Yeah.
They ain't really got it. But if you put your money up, we can make out great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's scammers. I'm in Atlanta. I'm so used to that.
They want to tell you their story of their paying them up because they want you to fix it, right? You ever had somebody come tell you, man, I just got my they took my license, man. They took my license and God damn, boy, I got a bid up, got a ticket on it too, man. It's like $1,000, man. I don't even know how I'm gonna pay that, bro.
I be like, man, I don't know how you gonna pay that either. Because again, I'm so used to it. I'm quick on my feet.
That's it.
Don't call me with
That's
your damn
it.
problem. Talking about my lights got turned off. Be like, they did? Yeah,
Damn.
they just gave me a note, just turned it off. I was like, I've been messing with Georgia Power, and they have been getting high.
Hey,
Georgia Power.
You got some candles over there?
Right.
Yeah, some flashlights. You know what I'm saying?
You was prepared just in case it was a blackout,
Right.
You got one. It ain't the whole neighborhood,
Yeah.
but it's yours. And you didn't pay that damn bill.
So here's the question. Why? Here's what we're talking about. Why are you grieving over other people's stuff? How much should you grieve or participate when people need money? What's the rule of thumb when people need something from you, right? They put themselves in the situation. You said it. They caused it. They decided it. They in the situation, and now they want you to save them.
How often do they pay back, if they even try to pay back? And then when they do pay back, what kind of attitude do they have?
That's a great.
These are great things that I always go by, because if a person pay you back within a time frame of what they said they was, that means that person again respects you.
Yeah.
For the amount of money you gave, and then give it back in that timely fashion.
They respect
to
you.
show you
Yeah.
that I appreciate what you just did. Them are the ones that I like to say I really appreciate a little higher than the ones that pay me back and have attitude.
Right.
I'd be like, yo, you told me about 2 weeks ago, it's been a month. Oh man, I ran into some things. They always give you excuses. I ran into some things. What, you want me to have no lights? And I was like, well, you don't know what I might have ran into, but I never came to you.
Right.
And talked about my lights. But when you came to me, you was in a caring, loving way that I'm gonna make sure I pay you back. And now you coming back with a damn attitude. Now, if you'd have came with that attitude, I never gave it to you.
Right.
So you know what you're doing.
And listen, people kill their favor. So you come back, you owe me money, but yet you coming at me with some kind of attitude or like I did something wrong to you, and you ain't even paid me my money back.
My heart is so hard.
You don't
now,
mention
bro.
my money. That's what will happen. Your heart will harden.
Yep. I'm not doing nothing for
And
you.
I cannot say that you're wrong, but we really have to have the Lord's presence on the subject, because he might just want you to help him, even though you're feeling the way you're feeling.
Now I would tell you.
So we got to be careful. We can't judge them out.
But I will tell you, I will make you suffer as well. If you come to me and you owe me money, and I see you didn't do nothing to nullify your situation, you didn't pawn nothing. I'm not giving up more of my money
than you.
When you come, the good Lord said it's common sense, and they ain't using it. So guess what? Me and him already had our conversation.
Yeah,
you might need to have it because you coming with nothing. You ain't did nothing to change your situation. You borrow money, you didn't pay back, and then you run into another rut. All right, now you're in this run. You want me to pay it off because I got it and you don't. Listen, I will never have it if I keep doing things of that nature.
And the Bible says, never correct a fool. And we're not calling you a fool. We're just saying that maybe you did we see you doing some foolish stuff. And so if you save a fool, that you will wind up saving them again. This is straight scripture.
Then you become a fool.
And then you become a fool for saving a fool.
You start feeling foolish.
Yeah.
Because I am sacrificing for a person that ain't changing, and then I'm thinking I'm doing something because I'm doing God's work. Just understand that He tell you to do all this, and a lot of times you didn't go to Him. You just said, "No, I was aiding them. I was doing this." Well, again, people are using people, and that's what they typically do. They play victim. I promise you, got people out there on the road that is not homeless. That's not, and then to all the homeless people, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the ones that's using
playing the game,
and that's all they doing.
Yeah.
Off the kindness of people and others. Yeah. I seen one person with a sign, I loved it. It said, "Why lie? I just want a beer."
And I'll go give him $20 for that.
Be like,
I respect just the sign.
Better than a lie sign.
Yeah.
To make me feel like I'm doing something because you're playing off of my humanity.
Right.
Listen, people do it all the time. Shows do it. They capitalize on it. My whole thing is it will harden you when you start realizing the truth.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us to talk about just this part of the equation, that there are people who will use your emotions against you to get what they want. They will tell you their sad story. They will, they'll ask you questions directly, and you don't want to say no, but they know how to hit your hot buttons. They know how to get to you. They know how to, and you can't allow yourself to be utilized that way. You can't allow people to tell you sad stories and you just buy in. Soft people probably get taken advantage of all the time because of that. Right. Yeah. But here's the notion that people are in some nonsense,
right?
And we want to care for them, but we can only really care for helping them if we know they're going to do right. If they ain't going to do right by you, if you know they owe you money and they ain't going to pay you back, you're hard pressed to give money again, right?
To that person for sure.
If they only come around when they want something, you're hard pressed to help them, right?
Correct.
So, again, that's people either promoting or destroying their own favor. Because if you do right by me, you can come to me over and over and over. I have a friend of mine, not even a close friend, just a new friend that, I've known maybe 6 months or so, asked me for some money, right? Yeah. And at first, they asked for $50.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell you're gonna do with $50. Maybe it'll get you to the paycheck, right? Apparently it did.
Right.
Because the Tuesday that they said they was gonna pay me back, they paid me back.
Right.
And about 2 weeks later, they called me and said, "Well, can I borrow $100?" And the number went up. The number went up, yeah. But there's a little more language there. A little more. I hate to keep bothering you. Okay. I don't want to make this a habit. I need $100 to get me to Tuesday. And
you did good. I'm on last.
Yeah, and I gave it $100, right? I gave him $100, and so I know that if they come again and ask for $500. As long as I got it, I know they're good for it.
Right. Because they've been showing you good faith.
They've been showing me good faith, right? So, we have to treat people almost like they would treat themselves.
Now, I had an opposite effect. I had somebody a long time ago, and I met, and it was off an app. So I really didn't meet them, okay? And as we talking, and I'm the kind of person, I'm not quick to try to meet anybody. And we was talking, and they was like, "Yeah, I'd love to meet up with you, but I ain't bring lunch. You know, just $6 for lunch. Like, what's $6 gonna do for lunch? And then whatever. So I wanted to go save him $6, and I said, wait a minute, is $6 really gonna feed you? No, it's just for a simple sandwich. I didn't want the meal or anything.
Right.
I said, you know something? I don't even know this person. I'll see him 10.
Right.
All right, get the fries, get the rest. Because again, I don't know you.
$10.
That's $10.
Yeah.
I'll pay you back and I get paid. No, you don't.
Yeah.
I check that up to the game. Because again, I forget my lunch sometimes.
Right.
All right. So then week go by. I didn't keep up with the time frame. Hit me again. Didn't bring lunch. You know, if you can do the same 10. Now, my whole thing is not a lot of money. And they playing scams in Atlanta. Okay. They getting you for real money. This person is hitting me for a very low amount of money.
Right.
But my whole thing is you're consistently asking. You have not met improving. Me.
Right.
We're talking. I'm not quick to meet you, and now I can see why. One, you had kids, and I'm not the kind of person to just meet up with people that got kids immediately, because I gotta have a relationship with you before I even want to see if I want to get into your kid's life. Period. And that's just me as a man. A lot of women don't like it, but I really can care less, because I'm gonna drive this vessel. Ain't nobody gonna drive me. So you asking me for money, and you trying to make it seem like if I got it or not. This is where it went left. Now I did the small things on the upfront, and she never hit me for a high amount. But there's times she said she was gonna pay me back, and that it never arrives. And I never seen nothing come back.
I ain't hear no words.
And I'm
okay with not getting the money, but you
never
don't forget it.
Yeah. Never got anything.
Yeah.
So when she didn't, it's fine. We still had small talk, and then it got to a point that she asked for a little bit more. I forgot what happened, but she needed like $70. And my whole thing was it's always been on the low amount. Now it's $70, and that's not high on me at all. But I'm noticing a pattern.
It's a pattern.
So now with the pattern, I already know I'm not doing it, because the pattern shows me, and you didn't repay the small amount. I'm not going higher to feel like a fool. So I didn't.
Right.
All right. And then they hit me up later. I was like, yo, I noticed you ain't really got no interest in me. So I'm just gonna delete your number. Now, I was gonna respond back. Yes, I was gonna respond back. Yes, definitely do that. But I said, you know something, instead of me going on low, I'm gonna let her speak into the future of what's gonna be. Because once you did, I ain't gonna call you anyway.
Right.
I was trying to get to know you, but see, people play themselves. She could have known a person that was willing to do way more than her broke ass could ever do.
Right.
But she want to show me her simpleness.
Right.
And keep asking. That's not a friend.
Right.
That's not even a person I want to be acquainted to. I want somebody, if I help, we work with each other. I believe in building up. That ain't nobody that I would want in my circle, because I got people that care, and they're going to be easily seeing, why would you bring somebody in that don't care? And that's why we got to be watched and cautious, because everybody don't have your best interest. They have their own.
That's so important in this discussion. You care about the people who care about you.
Yes.
And it's a sad reality, but if you don't have that mindset, you're going to be taken multiple times.
All day long.
And so that's where I got to say yes to help my friend, and I got to say no to help somebody who doesn't have my best interest at heart. And that's a firm decision that we have to make in life. As we go through life, we've got to decide if this thing is, if this person is good for me. Are they bad for me?
Thank you.
If they're good for me, I bring them closer. If they're bad for me, I push them further away. Right? Now, excuse me. We're talking about, why are you grieving over other people's stuff? Why are you grieving over other people's nonsense? Mm-hmm. Sometimes the grieving process, and I'm just going to give you an example. I had a friend of mine recently who was just sharing with me the silly stuff that people around her was doing. Mm-hmm. And she was like, this was that, and this was that, and they were doing it. Why don't they just do this? Why don't they just settle down? Why don't they just do this? You know, and it is common sense. It is simple stuff, right? But I started to experience her pain with what they were doing. Mm. And I started having a problem with that. I'm like, you sound like you're stressed and grieving because they doing stupid stuff. You sound like it's hurting your feelings because they can't get their life right. So what's really going on? Are you grieving behind their stuff, which is ultimately how we came up with today's topic, right? Don't find yourself grieving and anxious and anxiety and frustration and stress over other people's stuff. you got to take care of number uno.
Thank you.
Right? So you got to take care of you first. And so here's what I came up with for her.
What's your thoughts?
Right? In our last few minutes here.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a mover and a shaker,
Mm-hmm.
if you are a go-getter, if you are a person to make something happen in your life, if you are not the person who's going to sit still when trouble comes, you're going to keep your feet moving and you're going to go and overcome the problems and the hurdles. You're going to make a pathway for freedom and peace and ease. If you are the person who is on fire for life,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to always be surrounded by people who you are leaving behind.
Mm. I don't think they even heard you.
I need to say it one more time.
Yeah.
If you are a mover and a shaker in any form or fashion,
Mm-hmm.
you are always going to be leaving the people around you behind.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get comfortable with that. That just happens to be one of the challenging equations on the ladder of success, that you have to learn how to leave those heavy-weighted people behind. And it's not that you don't care about them. It's not that you don't like them. It's not that you don't want to be a part of their life, but they are bearing down weight on your mission and they're interrupting your path. And if you don't put a foot down, you're going to find yourself stuck with them. You're going to find yourself in a situation where they become parasitic on your life.
Ooh, no,
where they're constantly taking from you, and sometimes it ain't just taking money and stuff. Sometimes it's getting on your last nerves.
What?
Sometimes they stress you when you're supposed to be chilling right now, right? Though you got to find a way to remove those people from your life.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not easy, but I think it's a necessity, Jay.
It is. And what you said was so profound, because a lot of people don't believe in that. They be like, no, I built this structure of friends and family, and we all move together. But please understand, if you're in the middle and you build your circle around you, and you would like for your circle to move with you, but it's also the circle that can trap you. Because again, they've seen how you were, and then some people just gravitate to where you were, not to where you're going. And then they keep you from growth. All right.
They keep you from growth, and they don't want to.
No, they don't, but that's their mindset.
But they're causing you to look down.
Right.
They're causing you to see. Why are we talking about problems and bullshit? Why don't we talk about how to start this business? Why don't we talk about how to fix this relationship? Why don't we talk about a solution to this issue?
I can break that circle and I go up. There's some people that will gravitate up with me, and then there's going to be some people that's left behind.
People that's left behind.
That's why he said what he said. And a lot of times you ain't catching it because he just want me to leave my friends in. No. You need to understand your friends, and you need to understand what's being brought to you. Because again, for somebody to bring me a problem, I swear to you, people call me all the time with somebody else's relationship issues. I give them the best small advice off the little information that I know. I'm not a psychic. I don't do all that. It's just a lot of times I got a perception outside of the perception of what they might have, because I've been through a lot. And then I'm going to give them my perception.
Yeah.
And again, it's a free perception. You ain't paying me for it. And it is advice to make you look a little differently at what might be going on.
So watch it. Here go part of the problem in that equation, Jay.
What is that?
Is my friend is talking to me about the problems of somebody else.
I know.
So I got to check things in my mind. Like, well, first of all, why are you talking about their problem? And you can see how silly and foolish they are. Why are you even entertaining that crap?
No,
stop it already.
I'm gonna have fun where I think sometimes it's just great bedroom entertainment.
Perhaps.
I'm just gonna go with that.
Perhaps.
Right. So she bring that, and that's why we don't carry as us men, because she want to hear your ideas. She know it's foolish. She even knows
it's
the
foolish.
end results to a lot of it, but she want to know your thought process. How would you handle it? She's learning you through some of the
and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
But I don't need to hear you grieving about their shit.
You're taking too far,
right?
I feel like at that point you are correct. Where if we just talking about it, and I say, yeah, I would probably do this, and this. Now she know you. She know how you handle it. If she want to go back and tell her that's them.
Right.
Who cares? But when you say it, she's bringing emotions and you don't believe what they did. Now you bringing a lot of feeling into it, and now what you disrupting us. Now I'm answering stuff, and I'm answering for another man. Let's not be doing all that when we have our own, and I like to answer you.
Yeah,
but don't bring me their stuff. Into our bedroom.
Yeah,
and then I have to keep hearing about your upsetness with it, and then what he need to do and how I need to go check him.
So watch this. There's only one really exception to the rule, right? If your spouse or significant other is talking to you about their mother or their sister or the children, maybe not even your children, you know what I mean? Those are things that they're confiding in you. They're
more compassionate,
and sometimes you just think about it. If a mother is the one causing the issue and daughter comes to talk to her husband about it, she's needing somebody to lean on, right? And she needs you to grieve with her, right? She needs you to say, I know your mom said, but you got to take care of your mom, excuse me. You gotta be in the game for your mama. So I need you to tighten up, strengthen up, pull your bootstraps and go see about your mama. You know what I mean? There comes a time where when people are leaning on you about other people's burdens, that you really should listen and you should help them with a solution. Sometimes they don't need you to do anything. Sometimes they don't need you to say anything. Sometimes they just need you to listen. Hear them out. Because sometimes, and I find this actually more often than not, Jay.
What's that?
The stuff that people are saying, it's not because they necessarily want to be heard and understood, which we all are expecting that they want to be heard and understood. Right. Sometimes they just want to get it out. All you fellas who think that your ladies or your girlfriend, your wives talk about other people's problems and it's some nonsense. Sometimes they just want to be heard. Sometimes they just want to speak on the subject. They need to be the queen of the subject and be like, John could do this and he could do that, or my boss could do this and do that, and they always messing up. And so just hear them out, right? Listening is a very important part of a relationship, and there's nothing wrong with listening. No. Again, you don't have to carry that burden, right?
I totally agree, because again, through all the conversations I normally have, and people bring me a lot of different issues, especially with our relationships. One of the things I can always tell you, I listen with an open ear, and I'm not always quick to talk because, again, like you said, a lot of times people are saying things so they can hear themselves, so they can
hear themselves, right? It ain't about you. It ain't about them.
And I appreciate them, because again, I don't want to always give advice, because my whole thing is my advice is based off things I went through, and I don't know what they went through, and I don't get all the information from that person that's telling me.
But you said it right earlier, patterns. If somebody always coming to you with some negative talk, now, you don't even pay half attention to what they say, right?
I can't, because now I feel like you don't have nothing else to talk about.
Exactly.
And I don't like that. Exactly. I really like, if you want to come to me and talk to me about how you feel, what's going on with you and your family, I'm good with that. But when you keep telling me about other people, and every time it's about you, messy as hell. And one thing about me, I'm not a messy person. I'm not going to want to hear every damn day somebody else's damn problem in a different format. I'm starting to think you're making this shit up, because that's all I hear.
And listen, sometimes they do sometimes they shift the narrative a little bit. It don't be as bad as maybe it really is, but they're telling you a great story.
Yes.
Right? I sometimes don't want to hear that, right?
Your damn story time. Yeah. I gotta live life.
Yeah.
I watch TikTok and I hear people tell their little stories. It's cute to me. But
here's the thing to note. Because you have found a shortcoming in your friend or boss or significant other, don't mean that I'm going to look at you with any more honor and respect. Just because you can say, oh, they should do this and they should do that, don't mean that you get heightened in my mind as the king, queen, or whatever, right? Because what I really want to hear when you're talking about other people's stuff, I want to hear some compassion come out of you. I want to hear that you're not just saying they screwing up. I want to hear that, man, I wish they could do better.
Right.
I want to hear some heartfelt emotion for that person, because otherwise you just bitching.
Right.
I don't want to hear that.
Or some resolve.
Right.
I hardly ever hear resolve. You quick to tell me about. I don't hear your resolution.
Right.
Of what it should be. You want to quickly ask me, like I'm the savior. My whole thing is your friend. So I like to hear your resolve because in work aspect, don't keep bringing me problems.
Yeah.
Or you the problem.
Yeah.
And I say that to anybody that I manage. If you have a problem with a customer, you have a problem out there, you got a problem at home, and I keep hearing about your damn problem, you the problem. You are the simple problem to me. And my whole thing is, as you bring it, I'm looking at you, and I don't hear no resolution, then I'm gonna have a resolution.
He got the old saying, Jay, if they don't want to be saved, don't save them.
And they ain't even no hoes, you know. We're a bunch of men.
If they want to be saved, don't save them, right?
Because I'm not gonna lose myself behind the stuff that's going on.
Right. You got to find, just we're talking about, you got to protect your environment from the negativity. It's happening, but it don't have to be thrown in your face. It don't have to drizzle all down your shoulder. It don't have to be always talked about. Just know that it's there and find a way to elevate above and beyond it. Why are you grieving over other people's stuff? Because you care about them, but don't care about them so much that their grief causes you grief.
I mean, we can't say nothing else on that. That's it. That's it.
This has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. Again, just our opportunities to be leaders in our own community. We've been doing this 8 years and we love what we do. This has come off the top of the dome. We're just trying to bring out a subject and talk about it in a way that liberates any and every person's spirit. We hope you got something meaningful from this show. We're here every Thursday from 7 to 8, Facebook Live. Come back, like, share, subscribe, send all your friends and family, and never, ever forget that the reason we do this is because we love you and we appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk.